I'm Aimee, and today we're talking about the FamilySearch Tree, how to use the tree on FamilySearch. It's free, and step by step, how to build a tree on FamilySearch and contribute to the tree, okay? FamilySearch is completely free. They have a boatload of records, and I talk a lot about going to FamilySearch and using the catalog, the wiki pages, blah, blah, blah. But the FamilySearch tree, I haven't ever done a video about it, and I think it's really important because I think the tree is underused and can be a great resource for you. But let me give you a couple of caveats. Let me explain the tree, okay? The FamilySearch tree is a collaborative effort. So the people that you put into your tree that are living are just under your account. But the minute that you hook into people that have passed, who are deceased, then the tree is looking for people that may already be in the tree, okay? So how does that work? How can you contribute to the FamilySearch tree, build a tree on FamilySearch? I'm going to take you through it. But let me tell you one more thing that I want you to be aware of. If you're going to spend any time at all working in the FamilySearch tree, because of the fact that it's a collaborative tree and everybody can change things because we're working together, you may not always agree with the people that have changed things. And I have separate videos on merging and unmerging people and stuff like that. Check my FamilySearch playlist. I'll put a link to that in the video description below. But I want you to keep in mind that it may be affected. Things might be changed. So if you're going to spend any time working on your tree, also put it in a safe place. Now, where can you get programs that work with FamilySearch? Roots Magic, there is a free version. It also can connect with FamilySearch. There are a number of other companies that also do sync with FamilySearch. And so here is a listing of the different softwares that you can use to work on your computer that will link to your FamilySearch tree. Make sure that you have that in your own genealogy program so that you can then ensure that you know what you know. So if somebody changes it, you can change it back. There's a handout for this video, and it's going to make your life easier because it's going to go over everything that I'm going to talk about today and then some. You can either get it by being a member of Aimee's crew on the YouTube channel, and you not only get the handout, but you also get access to a live stream where I work on my own family tree once a month. Or you can go over to my Etsy page and you can pick it up there. The links to both of those are in the video description below, so check that out. I really think it'll help you because I have pictures and I'm going step by step through the different things that we're going to be talking about today. All right, but let's talk about the FamilySearch tree. Before I build the tree, let me tell you why I think FamilySearch is good. 1, it's free. 2, it's free. No. 2, it's a great location where there's tons of records. They have a lot of features in the FamilySearch tree that are really awesome, and there's no charges for any of them. It's really a good place to go and check some things out. So let's start. Let's say you don't have a FamilySearch account and you want to start building the tree. You can create an account and just use their records and things like that. That's cool too. All right, but let's start in the FamilySearch main page. All right, here we go. Here is the FamilySearch page. I'm not signed in. I'm going to say I don't even have an account, and we're going to start from scratch. And I'd like to point out here that they kind of bait you here with, do you want to know what to search for? Try a grandparent or great-grandparent. So if I put in my grandmother, Georgette Paston, she lived in San Francisco. Her birthday was 12/13/14. Isn't that cool? December 13th, 1914. All right, so she's an easy one for me to remember. And look, they immediately found some candidates, and this is my grandma. So I could click on this and I could go, oh, wow, this is really cool. Look at all this information that they have about Georgette. That's pretty slick. Then they're saying discover even more, or we can just create an account up here at the top. So we're going to create the account from here. You can sign up with Facebook, Google, Apple, or if you're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you can sign up with the church account. FamilySearch is a part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's where their funding comes from. So I'm not going to do it any of these ways because I want to just take you through step by step. So I'm going to create a brand new account. So my name is Aimee. My last name is Cross. I am going to put in a fake birth date because y'all don't need to know when I was really born, do you? I wasn't born in 1900, and let's see. We're going to say I was born in 1977. I wasn't. I'm a little older than that, but hey. Now it's going to ask me, please send me messages and discoveries about my ancestor. I can click or not click. I want to add my Church of Jesus Christ membership information to enable church features. Click or unclick if you're a member of the church or not. But you're going to have to agree to the terms of use. And now I need to go into my email. I've confirmed my account and now I'm in. So you can see that I don't have a tree. I have me in here and that's it. Let's start building our tree. Start now. They walk you through this process. Begin with yourself. Next, enter your information of birth. You have been added. All right, so now I want to add a mother, or I can add her later. Let me actually add my father because my mom's still alive. So let me add George Stevenson. His approximate birth date was 1940. I need to pick their drop down. He was approximately born in California. Always choose the drop down menus because they're going to ask for it anyway. They want standardized places. Now they're giving me some choices of people that are already in the tree. This is my dad. So I just click, this is him. And you're going to see that all of a sudden, my tree expanded because this is a collaborative tree. And so once I click into a person that is deceased that is already in the tree, if they have other ancestors and relatives, they're going to be automatically populated. We're going to go over that in just a minute. Don't worry about putting personal information in this tree because it will be kept private. So if you put somebody that's living their birth date, nobody else is going to be able to see that. It just doesn't even show up. It will show up in your tree, but no one else is going to have the opportunity to see it, only if somebody is marked deceased. Now, once you've added some members to the FamilySearch tree, then eventually they're going to say to you, congratulations, we are finding you in the tree. Come to the tree. So I'm going to go to my family tree. And I have multiple options here. This is called the portrait view. And it's not my favorite, but it does show siblings in here. They also have this fan chart, which is kind of cool. You can see from my fan chart, I can actually go up to 7 generations on this fan chart. And so you can see that according to the FamilySearch tree, this is what FamilySearch has on my family. And I have holes here that need to be filled in, right? So is all of this information absolutely correct? Maybe not. Now I need to warn you that when you've adopted people into your FamilySearch tree, that, we're already in the tree. That doesn't mean that this is a for sure slam dunk, okay? These people could be wrong. There's mistakes in the FamilySearch tree. So it can give you some really fun information, but if you want to do solid genealogy, you want to be a little bit more careful about really accepting those people. So when I build my tree off of FamilySearch, I don't incorporate those people until I prove them to my satisfaction. I prefer the landscape chart. So I'm going to go to that and show you what that looks like. And here we see the family tree. Now we see that there's stuff here that I don't know. And this little icon right here tells me that there's some record hints for George. And I have this little icon, which means that he's missing a vital event. This is a research suggestion. If you just put in one vital event or some source, then we probably can help you out, is kind of what they're saying. And if I expand this, nothing's going to show because we don't know anything. But if I expand this side, we're going to see that this tree gets built out further, all right? And if I click on the children, I see the children of a particular family. Let's dive in and let's take a look at this and let's see how we could use FamilySearch to maybe try to build our tree a little bit better. Let's take a look at some of these record hints. Let's first go to my dad. So I'm going to go to his person. So now we're going to look at George. And if I look at George's homepage, I see his vital information here. I see research help, which is like leaves on Ancestry. This is like, you might want to check these out. These might work for you. This will take me to FamilySearch searching generally, not using those hints, but doing a general search for George. There's a place for alternate names and other facts information. And here's where I see his spouse and children and his parents and children. Now, just so that you know that you understand that it's not public, in in the family tree in my regular account, my dad had a brother and he is still living. And so in my tree, I see him, but here he doesn't show up as one of his children because he's still living. If you have relationships that are incorrect, like if this is really not his parents, you discover that later, you can change those relationships. We use these little pencils here to make these changes. All right, so that works great when the people that are in your family are in the family tree. But what happens when they're not? When you're manually entering their information, what is FamilySearch going to do and how does that look? Let me show you. So I'm in my mom's page and I'm just leaving it blank for her privacy purposes, but let's say I want to add her parents. All right, so let me add my grandmother. My mother's name was Hazel Filer, and I want her birth or maiden name. They specify that. With women, you always want to put their birth or maiden name. Female. If I said living, if she's still living, it's going to tell me that I may need to create living family members to connect me to the deceased ancestors. But to protect privacy rights, only I'm going to see those living people. So I could put the birth date and birthplace in there, but nobody else is going to see that. But Hazel is deceased. So let's see what I can find. So I'm going to click in next. And the next thing that they're going to show me is the possible match that I have. So this is Hazel Filer, who married Gilbert Samuel Kinsley. And I can add that match. If this is my person, then I can add that match, okay, right there. And it's going to populate all that information in my tree like I showed you a minute ago. But if this is not correct, then I just create the person right here. Now, you don't always have immediate matches with the FamilySearch tree. You may have many generations where your family is not already in the tree. And so how do you build your family? You need to add their information in that you know, and then you just need to get to work. You need to look at sources, you need to look at records, you need to talk to other family members and find out information about them. And then as you compile this information, you're going to be able to start figuring out who their parents were and who their parents were if you didn't already know that. It's really fun. And if you already did know some of that information, you're going to be finding records that pertain to them that are really interesting to look at. Draft cards, census records, things that will help you learn a lot about these family members. So when we're in a FamilySearch page, there's a couple of different ways that you can search. One, you can use this research help here where FamilySearch is saying, hey, we found a record. We think it pertains to your guy. Here's the first 3, but you can click here and they'll show you all. And then when you click on one, you go through the process, but you can also search right here. And if you click on this, it's going to populate the information from FamilySearch into general search fields. And then it's going to give you other records that may not be showing up in your hints. And in addition to that, you can do the same with Ancestry, Find My Past, MyHeritage, Genealogy, Filet, and even Google. If I click on Google, it's going to ask about this information and just do a Google search on them, which is really interesting to do. And it's so easy when you do it this way. Now, I do need to let you know that Ancestry, Find My Past, MyHeritage, Genealogy, and Filet, you will have to pay for all of those sites. And so you can't go in and look at those records without joining the site unless you're at a local family history library or an affiliate library. So those are the ways that on FamilySearch that you could easily search for records based on the information that you have in the tree. So I know this can be a little bit confusing, so let me summarize it for you. In the FamilySearch tree, you are first putting in your information, and then you're putting in your parents' information, and you can add siblings and stuff like that too if you want to. But you're putting in your parents' information. And if they are deceased, you're going to look and see if they are already in the FamilySearch tree. Your parents probably aren't, okay? And then you're going to add the next generation, and you're going to check and see if they are already in the FamilySearch tree. And if they are not, then you are going to add that person and continue to build your family tree until you discover whether or not you are related to any of the people that are already in the FamilySearch tree. Once you do that, then you can connect to the information that is already in the FamilySearch tree. Your family may have lines that are in the FamilySearch tree, or they may not, and you may be adding the information. Regardless, those features in FamilySearch are still going to work for you. Now, how do you get the information to help you build your tree? That is honestly like a whole huge thing in and of itself. There's a lot of strategies to being smart in accepting information. And I actually did a video not long ago that's much longer. It's a live stream where I worked on building a tree on Ancestry. But the principle of how to look at the different sources and choose what's right, what do I need to find out a little bit more information about first before I feel comfortable with accepting this person into my family tree, that can be really helpful to you. So the link to that video, it's building a tree on Ancestry, and the link to that video is just right up here. And you can take a look at that video and kind of see like the way my head works and how I'll examine facts and how I'll kind of slowly work to build a tree. Now, we've already looked at how the sources look on FamilySearch. There's going to be a little bit of difference between how adopting a source is on Ancestry versus FamilySearch, but the basic principles of looking at the sources are really identical. All right, now that you know a little bit about how to build the tree, I want to take you through the person page and help you see all of the different features on the page, as well as how to find and attach the records that FamilySearch is showing you that they think might be records that pertain to your person. If I click About, then this gives me that page we saw before. It just gives you kind of a general page. And it gives me the meaning of Stevenson, kind of some really cool things in this page that may be of interest to you, along with some historical events that occurred around the time of that person's life. That can be interesting to you as well. I like that. Details this page. Sources are the sources that have already been added to George. So we see that he's in various marriage and divorce indexes, in the 1940 census, a California birth index, and some other records. And if I click on any of these, I get a link to wherever that record was so that I can go take a look at that record. The Collaborate tab is if I want to add notes for this individual or a discussion for other people that are researching him. The Memories tab is where pictures and stories have been uploaded. And there his baby, I put this up there. This is so funny. This is what my grandmother was told to feed him when he was a baby. I put it up here because I thought it was hilarious. And then we have his timeline. And this is where the mapping comes in that's free on FamilySearch. All right, we see the different events in his life. And then we see where some of these events occurred. And if I zoom in, like I'm going to zoom in here in Los Angeles, we see an event occurred here. And there's actually 5 of them. So here is the timeline for one of my great-great-grandfathers, Samuel Kinsley, and here's this awesome map. So one of the other cool things is I can click the show route, and you can see the route that he took in his immigration. Now, if you wanted to add more facts in there, Ancestry adds their facts a little bit differently, and you see more residences with just regular facts, whereas FamilySearch doesn't. So we have the vital information, and that was included in that map. But then the other information that was added in here were other events. And you can put in these custom events, like I put in his immigration, and that's why we saw the immigration. But if you want to add in other events that maybe relate to sources like census records or purchasing property or whatever, you could add them in there, and then they would show up in that map, which is awesome. All right, so let's go back to his details page, and I want to show you some of these research helps. So here we have a George Willard in the birth index that has not been attached to him. So I'm seeing this record here. I can view this record here. I'm going to open this link in a new tab, and I can take a look at this birth index. Now, there's no image available, but this gives me that he was born on the 30th of March, 1940 in Los Angeles County, California. All right, so I can attach that to the tree either there or I can attach it right here. I can review and attach it. So now I'm in their source linker, and now I'm seeing that this source matches this information. And now I can also add this to his mom because this record provided the maiden name of his mother. So I'm going to attach this to Georgette, and then I didn't attach it to George. So I'm going to attach it to George. Now, if this isn't a match, I'll say not a match, and then it won't show up in his hints. Now I can always detach this as well. You could look up George. You can use this ID number and you could find George on Family Search. If you click on it, they'll automatically copy it for you. All right, and then I could take a look at these other census records and attach them. Now this 1940 census, I want to look at this one really quickly. So here I have the image, and if I want to view the image, I can click on that and I can actually view the image, and I advocate always look at the image. You can zoom in right here to see it a little bit better. You have the indexed information here. And if you have changes to that, you can put a little pencil mark and you can tell them, hey, you guys, you read it wrong. It really should be this, which is great. Let's find George here in the census. George Stevenson, his dad with Georgette, with son George Willard. That's my dad. And it tells me that his dad was a salesman. Lots of great, he worked at the meter company, lots of great information that you can find here in these census records. And I'm not going to take the time to really dive into the records because that's a whole nother video. All right, so I'm back in my tree, and now I want to select somebody else from my tree. Let's select Pierre Dumont, and I'll be able to show you some of the other things about him. I'm going to go to his person page. And I want to see, I'm on the timeline page, but how am I related to Pierre? I'm not sure. I can view my relationship and I can see that here I am. Here's my dad, my grandmother, her mother, my great-grandmother, and he is my second great-grandfather, written right here. Kind of cool. All right. Has this helped you? Do you feel comfortable now with adding your people into Family Search and seeing when you're adding somebody that is new to the tree and when you're adding somebody that isn't? I really hope so. I would encourage you to give Family Search a try. It's not going to hurt anything. The only thing I would caution you against is if you merge people and they don't belong being merged, it's a little bit difficult to unmerge them. That means taking two individuals and putting them together. Now, some of these problems in Family Search, I'm going to actually address in another video because there's just not time. The video would be too long. And I kind of wanted to break it up anyway because I'm doing a separate handout for that video as well. It's going to be all about those problems on Family Search, deleting somebody, merging somebody, changing relationships on people, trying to make sure that they have the right mother and the right father, how to fix those things when they aren't right. Okay, and there will be a handout for that video as well. Now, if you want to have more information about Family Search and how it can help you out, check out this video right here, which has some great information about how Family Search works.